Welcome back to part B of Aging Techniques 2. We will be adding in some wrinkles, some furrowed brows, and some crow's feet in this section here. Your wrinkles should be a little bit deeper set, so a little bit darker in saturation. And then there I am furrowing my brow, adding in my contour around that muscle that creates this kind of roundish shape there when you pull your eyebrows together. Blending a little bit with my Q-tip on those. That makes it look like my brows have been furrowed a lot in my life, which sometimes that may be true, but it kind of creates that natural pulling together of the brows without me actually doing it. And now I'm moving into creating some crow's feet. I'm only going to do 2 wrinkles, although crow's feet tend to have lots more. And again, that's because we're on a big stage. If you get too many lines there, you're not going to be able to read it. You won't see it. It's all just going to be kind of a blur. I'm adding in highlight, so on top of that muscle, so it looks like it's poofing away from that shadow, and in between my wrinkles, my crow's feet wrinkles, in the middle of the 2 wrinkles, and then on top of the top one. You don't need to add highlight on the bottom of the bottom one, although you could. And then we'll also add some highlight in between my forehead wrinkles. Again, those are spaced out because if you get too many together on a larger stage, it won't read, it'll just look all blurred together. And then we will blend like we did last week, doing our dragging across the lines with our sponge. You can blend with your Q-tip in on your smaller areas. Don't need a lot because I already blended in the Q-tip on the shadow on my furrowed brows. Just taking that really nice clean edge of that sponge and lightening up some of those wrinkles. Getting up, again, making sure that all of those wrinkles I just put in look good and readable from a little further away. I am going to move into lips now. So what I'm doing is adding a little bit of my base foundation on my lips to kind of kill some of that color. Generally, as we age, you will lose some pigmentation in your skin and or get spots, skin spots. So a really great way to immediately kind of age yourself is to take away some of your color. Right now, those are reading a little bit too murky. They're a little bit too thick and a little too close together on the bottom lip. I am going to move to my top lip, wrinkles, so it looks like I've been pursing my mouth. I don't like those bottom ones. Obviously, they're not reading great, and I am flattening my lip in order to draw a cleaner line down there. You can see I added highlight in between my mouth wrinkles, and I'm just doing a slight bit of blending. Still not super happy with my bottom lip. I do think they are possibly a little closer together. I will add a little bit more highlight to break them up and clean up with my fine edge of my Q-tip. They're reading a little bit long on my lip as well, so I will take away some of the length at the bottom of the wrinkles. The wrinkles shouldn't really extend past your lip. Now I am going to move on to some neck aging. You can see I already have some wrinkles starting on my neck. This is one way you can age your neck, is horizontally. I will also show you how to vertically age your neck, putting in some wrinkles and then adding some highlight to complement those wrinkles. I'm adding my highlight just on the top of each wrinkle. Don't need a lot. Again, I already have them naturally, so it kind of works for me. So now that I've showed you how to do that, I'm going to dull what I just did down a little bit so I can do the vertical wrinkles on the jugular. So I'm adding the shadow on either side of the jugular that I kind of twisted my neck to see what my natural one looked like. It kind of looks like a rope or a snake, so you're adding the shadow on either side to push the middle of that out and be more prominent with the highlight. It's a little soft right now. I will strengthen it up, but adding that highlight again pops that middle part out, makes it look like it's coming forward, and then the edges where the shadow is receding back. I wanted to go back in and added more depth, make it a little stronger. Again, on stage things tend to get washed out. So you can see how that is really coming together and making some dimension there on my neck, even when my neck is relaxed. I'll move on to the other side and work on that really quick, and then we'll continue to talk about texturizing the skin. Alright, we're going to work next with our bruise wheel and our stippling sponge. I like to use yellow to discolor the skin first. That's too much yellow versus a little bit of yellow. You're going to want to be pretty light-handed with adding in the discolorization. It gets too much really quickly, so I generally use my hand as a palette to clean off some of that excess makeup on my sponge before adding it to my face. You'll see a little later I do that with red by accident, so you actually get to see me mess up and show you what happens when you mess up. So as you age, again, you start to kind of lose color, you change color, just kind of depends on your skin tone. I'm adding red in to look more like broken capillaries. You can also take your sponge and soften the red a bit too. The red gets really strong, really fast. You can see how light I'm being with this red, and again, taking a clean sponge and both softening the red spots and toning down the color. I'm doing a really light tap blending with the sponge. When I do use it, I don't drag the sponge at all. I want those dots to stay dots. I don't want them to be scrapes or anything. Yep, there we go. There's my mess up. So I really take that down with my sponge, and then I add a little bit more makeup back on top of the red to tone it down. I'm adding a little bit of red onto the nose too. So the cheeks, the forehead, the ball of the nose are really great places to add this texturizing. For people who don't have my skin tone, for people who have a deeper skin tone, you are going to want to use the brown-ish looking color and the grayish looking color. I'm pointing at those right now. I'm going to use those as liver spots, but you'll want to use those as your discoloration after your red and your yellow, if you would like that. I do break down what the colors do for other skin tones in my PDF, so please take a look at that and test it out on your hand. See, I'm showing you the gray and I'm showing you the brown and what those do there. Okay, I'm taking a look and I think I am ready to roll. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to show you again, like I did last week, the difference between adding eyeliner and not adding eyeliner, especially with an older age look. Your eyes kind of disappear more when you don't use the eyeliner. And again, doing some mascara. Compare and contrast. It's always great to look to see. Sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. Again, you can see the expression of the eye better with the makeup. Taking a look from afar. Alright, we are all done with Aging 2. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week.